Area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. By British Airways, to fly, to serve. By J&R Music and Computer World. And by the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer. Why just go when you can go pro? Well, we are back here at the stadium, and no time did it ever rain at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees dodged the bullet in that sense. There's still rain all around the area, but the heavy accumulation got by the stadium and is over the river right now, heading toward Manhattan. So they expect this game will start in a couple of minutes, but that doesn't mean that the rain is totally out of the picture. They're going to start at about 1:50 and hope for the best, Paul. And this is a little disconcerting, especially for the pitchers. They didn't let them start to warm up until about 1:30. That's why you have this delay right now. It is weird, too, and baseball players are weird in that aspect that you are on a schedule. You start to turn it on about 20 minutes before the game to get loose. Everyday players, pitchers, whatever, and all of a sudden, they throw an extra 45 minutes on you, and it's all about schedules in certain times, and, you just have to kind of change things up. And the tough part is that pitching is so important in this whole equation. That's why they didn't start on time. They thought sure it was going to rain. And what you don't want to do is start a starting pitcher, then shut him down, and then you can't bring him back, and then you really put a team behind the 8 ball. So let's take a look at the lineups to get you set for this game, starting with the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays are actually under 500 after yesterday's loss, and they lead off the rookie Anthony Gose, who picked up his first big league hit yesterday, an infield single. Brett Lawrie at third base will bat second. Batting third, playing center field, Colby Erasmus. Edwin Encarnacion at first base will clean up. Batting fifth and DHing, Adam Lind. J.P. Arancibia will catch, he'll bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing second base, Kelly Johnson. Rajay Davis will be in left field. He's going to hit eighth. And 45-year-old shortstop Omar Vizquel is going to bat ninth. Well, the Yankee defense that will try to stop that Blue Jay lineup, this is the way it stacks up, and it's brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. You've got Andrew Jones at left. Dwayne Wise is in center. A rare day off for Curtis Granderson. Nothing wrong with him. Nick Swisher's in right. In the infield, it's A-Rod, Nix. Nix is at short. Derek Jeter's the DH today. Canoa's at second. And Mark Teixeira is over at first. Russell Martin back behind the plate. And Hiroki Kuroda is on the mound. All right, we've been talking weather a lot today. Here's the latest weather, game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It has actually cooled off about 5 degrees, 94 degrees right now. Humidity is 47%. The wind is 13 miles per hour. And the forecast, unfortunately, is for possible thunderstorms on top of a scorcher.
Scorcher. So, I don't know that I've ever seen that in your pregame Bigelow Tea report.
Have you ever seen that, 110 degrees on the field?
I've seen that before, yeah.
Well, you played on artificial turf in
actually, that thing was over towards 130 when I got to the ballpark and the sun was out for about,
yeah. Really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think I tweeted a picture.
Really? Yeah. Going crazy with that. Now, does it make you feel old or young that Omar Vizquel is 45 and he's playing and you're up here with me?
Yeah, well, you know what? He's not playing every day, but he still can catch the baseball and he still can help teams. It's amazing the career that he's had, and it's amazing to look at him, know that he's 45 years old.
And he said that this is going to be his last year. He's probably going to miss out on the 3,000 hits if he doesn't come back for another year, but he certainly has had a Hall of Fame career. We're talking about the heat. That's a big part of this day. Any precautions that players take in this kind of heat?
No, I mean, every once in a while it just catches you. All of a sudden, you feel winded, and it just, I mean, obviously you have to drink a lot and stuff like that, but there are breaks. And I feel much more for the fans who sit in it all day and you can't get away from the heat. As a player, the dugout is cooler. And in between innings, you can run to the clubhouse so you can't get breaks.
Now, if you take a look at the dugout where Derek is standing right now, over the Bank of America in certain parts of the dugout, you'd be shocked to know this. A lot of people don't realize there's air conditioning in there. There are air conditioning vents, so if you sit in the right place, you can actually feel a lot cooler and to give you a respite from the heat. I don't know if the old place had that.
It was. You had that tunnel going down, so you get cool air out of that tunnel, but I don't think you had the actual air conditioning.
So there's one of the air conditioning vents, and during Old Timers Day, you get to sit in the dugout, and people just fight for that spot. Now, you can also get a stiff neck that way because you're sitting right in front of the air conditioning, but it does cool you also. Alex is taking advantage of that as well. It's just a hot day, and you have to put up with it after the game. The Blue Jays will head to Boston. They have an off day tomorrow. They'll play a 3-game set against the Red Sox. And the Yankees, well, they want this game to be over fast because they get on a flight and they go to San Francisco. They'll play the Oakland Athletics starting tomorrow, a 4-game set. So the later this goes, the later they get into the West Coast. And no off day. Usually when you have a travel day like that, you did have an off day. But the Yankees will play Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. Then they'll go to Seattle. And those 3 games will be the final 3 games on the West Coast. Now for the Oakland series, the 4 games, this is the way it's going to set up. You've got Garcia against A.J. Griffin. That's tomorrow. Then on Friday, it's Ivan Nova trying to bounce back from a subpar outing against Tommy Malone. Saturday is Phil Hughes against Jared Parker. And Sunday, CC Sabathia, who pitched so well yesterday coming up the DL against the amazing Bartolo Colon. Not a great record, 6-8, 3.88, but what a bounce back he's had in his career. Did a good job for the Yankees last year and following that up with the A's. Let's talk about Sabathia a little bit, Paul. I was impressed by his command yesterday. Didn't seem rusty at all after being on the DL with the groin injury. Got off the DL right before the game yesterday. Gave the Yankees a serviceable 6+ innings.
Wow, and I think you're right. It wasn't just the command of his fastball. It was everything. And he used his sinker, he used his 4-seamer, he used his curveball, and he used his changeup, even in late in the count when he needed them. So again, veteran pitchers have a knack of being able to take time off and step right back out on the mound. And he was definitely impressive. I think Joe brought him out a little bit more, earlier than he would if he hadn't been on the DL. So you've saved him for his next start, and it looks like he came out running.
And you also have to take a look. Maybe there's a positive angle, Paul, to the fact that he missed about 3 weeks, because he even said that it's going to benefit his arm in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams, you have players that just want to throw up numbers and numbers because they're looking for contracts and things like that. The big picture when you're with the Yankees is to really peak in October, and these are the little breaks that do it. And you look at last night, there's a good curveball, fastball. I mean, he had good stuff, everything. And he pitched his way through 6 innings, and we said about it last night. It was 3-0, but he was so dominant that it seemed like a blowout at that point.
You worry about command when you're out for that long, and this guy certainly had command. The guy who's going to the mound right now has command. 2012 U.S. Open champion Webb Simpson. And I'm sure you're a little bit of a fan, knowing how you love golf. He's going to go from the rubber, a little bit of a folly floater, but that's a strike, right?
You know what? I'm a big golf fan, but I can see why he played golf. That wasn't one of your strike ones, but I wish I would have talked to him. He could have given me a few pointers.
And you could have given him pointers on throwing.
Yeah. Not that that's going to help his career, but it could certainly help my golf game.
All right, let's take a look at the numbers on Hiroki Kuroda. This is his 19th start, 8-7, 3.67. 115 in the 3rd innings, 112 hits, 33 walks, 89 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 256 against him. Now let's take a look at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, happy days. In 3 daytime starts this season, 3-0, and has not been scored on yet. 0 ERA. And buckle down, this is a great stat for pitchers. Opponents are hitting 197 with runners in scoring position. So Kuroda does a good job there. Stay hot. He loves the hot weather. Pitched extremely well in June. But we talked about it in the pregame. Needs to bounce back. He's had a tough July so far.
Had such a good June, as Paul said, and July obviously has been problematic, but he hasn't lost a game. No record with an ERA over 7. Joe Girardi's team is actually playing very good baseball. John Farrell struggling. He's lost Bautista. In a period of 4 days, he lost 3/5 of his starting rotation. So he said no one, I talked to him today, Paul, he said nobody's going to feel sorry. And I mean, every manager knows that. No one's feeling sorry because everybody goes through it. But the Blue Jays are up against the 8 ball right now. They're going into Boston. They're finishing this series against the Yankees. They don't have their best hitter, and they also don't have 3 of their best pitchers.
Yeah, and if you look at it, I was looking at Kuroda's only faced the Blue Jays once, and he had a tough outing up in Rogers Center. Well, Bautista had 2 home runs in that game, and all of a sudden they're not the same team without him. Everybody knows it. Will it show up today? Who knows? Will it show up over the 2 weeks? Absolutely. And if that's only what it takes. So he's on the 15-day disabled list. And this team right now is scuffling. They've got too many injuries to try to compete.
And losing the first 2 games of the series, they drop below 500. And incredibly, this marks the first time that the Yankees have played a team with a losing record entering a game since June 3rd at Detroit. In the interim, the Yankees played 37 consecutive games against teams with a 500 or better record, and they were 27-10. in those games.
I'll tell you one thing, Michael. We have talked a lot. We haven't even seen the first pitch yet. This is a new thing for us.
There you go. Goes is ready. Kuroda is ready. Here's the first pitch. Let's do it. And the first pitch is a little bit low, and we're underway.
Kuroda, I talked about it. He pitches off his slider a little bit more. It was all fastball, pinpoint fastball, try to get to his split finger. Now he uses that slider a lot more in the count, middle part of the count. Try to get to that split finger late.
51-minute delay at the start of the game before the first pitch. Anthony Goes is one of the bright lights in the farm system for the Blue Jays. Just got called up from AAA when Bautista went down. Picked up his first big league hit yesterday, kind of a half bunt single. But his numbers in Vegas, he had 292, 5 homers, 41 ribbies. He walked 47 times and he stole 29 bases. Got great speed.
And you can tell by looking at him, he's a speed guy, but he can put the ball in play. Yesterday, I mean, Clay Rapata fielded a bunt, and just that little hesitation, he looked at second base. Goes say it ends up being safe at first for his first major league hit.
And Go said today, I get the ball on the ground, I just run as hard as I can to first base. And that works for guys from the left side. You can pick up hits that way, make a career that way. Ask Juan Pierre. The 2-2. Still 2-2. And here is his first big league hit.
Well, it's not the prettiest thing, and again, it's a hard bunt right back at the pitcher. And Clay Rapata a little, that's what speed will do for you. I think he was as surprised as anybody. That's a base hit.
And he has that baseball as a keepsake. And that bunt was actually called by the manager, John Farrell, because he knew the kid was facing a tough lefty. So this is his first big league start. 2-2. Still 2-2. The Yankees have been fortunate. I believe they've had one rainout this year that's already been made up as part of a day-night doubleheader in Boston. Last year, it seemed like they had so many rainouts that they have to make up, and that gets you in the second half of the season. So you want to get this game in. Just keep crossing games off your calendar, especially when you have a 9.5 game lead in the East.
Especially the way you're playing, and you're playing a team that's kind of down injury-wise. It's amazing to me that Goes can go up there, I mean, with long sleeves, and those don't even look like like the lycras. Those are the old-fashioned wools that keep the heat in. You just leave when you came to the ballpark.
You made the edict yesterday, no ties today, and I was all for it. Two. Swing and miss. Goes down strikes.
Well, again, he got a lot of fastballs early in the count, chopped a few of them in the dirt, and then all of a sudden Kuroda gets to that strikeout pitch, split finger, something off of it.
Here's Brett Lawrie. Grounded to third. A-Rod's there. And he throws one past to Shera as Lawrie will reach on the E5.
And I tell you what, this is a credit to Brett Lawrie. And Alex Rodriguez thought he had all the time in the world because most guys put their head down and kind of jog down to first. Lawrie busted it right out of the box, and all of a sudden Alex Rodriguez had to rush that throw. You see, he kind of takes his time, and then all of a sudden you look and you see the runners farther than you think. A rush to throw. He can run.
So the ball got into the camera well, and that allows Lawrie to go to second. So an error for A-Rod. Two-base error. Here's Colby Rasmus.
Front of the box, Colby Rasmus. We talked about it in this series, how you just don't see hitters standing in the front of the box like he does.
Paul, I always wanted to ask you this. I know it's a long season, but why should what Derek Jeter and Brett Lawrie do be the exception? Why shouldn't everybody run hard?
Yeah, and you're right. And a lot has to do, believe it or not, with the type of hitter you are. I mean, there's some hitters that, Derek Jeter, the way he fights the ball off, it's almost like he's getting out of the box as he swings. You know, Ichiro, how easy he gets out of the box. Some of the bigger guys, end up on their back foot, weight in the back, and it is harder to get out of the box. But, a lot of times it's just frustration. When you've made an out, you just kind of put your head down and jog down to first base. But you're right. You're 100% right. It's an easy thing to do. But we've all been
and to be honest, you've done it. You did it too.
Absolutely. There's not a guy on the field that hasn't felt that frustration, and you just don't put the effort in to get down to first base.
Ground ball to Cano. Smoothly makes the play as Lawrie moves to third, and they're 2 away.
Rasmus hits it hard, but right at Robbie Cano. Next thing you know, you're going back to the dugout.
Here's Edwin Encarnacion. He's had a good series. He's had hit the ball hard all the time. He has 4 doubles in the series.
It reminds me of Robbie right now. Even the outs he's made have been hit hard, line drives. And it's been mostly on fastballs. But the reason he's getting his fastballs is because he's taken the off-speed pitch. He's taken the balls. Again, we talked about all the work he did over the winter about shortening his stride, and that just allows him to wait a little bit longer.
Yankees have to figure out a way to get Encarnacion. His last 13 games against the Yankees, he's hitting .375 with 9 ribbies.
And if you look at Encarnacion, here's a typical hitter. I mean, you're knocking the chalk off the back of that box, as opposed to
broken bat, fly ball, left field. Andrew Jones makes the play, and that'll do it. So they survive the error by A-Rod. No runs, 1 error, 1 man left. Blue Jays nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Shot against this lineup. Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. The captain, the DH, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up, third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Andrew Jones. Jason Nix, the shortstop, will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, Russell Martin. Wayne Wise is in center field, and he'll bat ninth. Ricky Romero is on the mound. The numbers on Romero, his 20th start, 8-5, 5.03 ERA. Bit too many walks there, 82 strikeouts. Opponents hit .251 against him. Let's take a look now at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report.
Well, he is a true ace, and he is their ace. Opening day starter last year, 15 wins, 25 quality starts. I mean, he led the team in pitching in every category. Good stuff. He has 20 of his last 21 strikeouts have come by swinging strikes, which means that he's got good enough stuff to throw the ball by you. But you mentioned it, Michael. Wild one. He's averaging 4.6 walks, which is a career high for him so far.
All right, here's Derek Jeter against Romero.
I think Ricky Romero's going through what a lot of people go through when you have a lot of injuries. All of a sudden, I think you try to do a little bit too much. Just thinks that He's trying to force it a little bit. Out of the last 9 games, he won 5 consecutive games, and now he's lost 4 consecutive games. So, you know, you can see just around that time of those injuries, all of a sudden, you know, you're the ace. You feel like you have to win. You just tried a little bit too hard.
Jeter drives on the right field, goes back, still back. It's going to be up against the wall. Rasmus backs up, and Jeter leads off the first with a double. That ball gets away. Jeter thinks, but stays right there as Aaron Sibia backs up.
Dirk does a good job at what he does best, and this is a ball up, out over the plate, a ball that's supposed to be in, but you see it's away. Just drives it, and the ball is just absolutely going to fly as hot as it is today. Goes, gets a good jump, but just can't beat the ball to the wall. And we saw him kind of misplay a ball yesterday down in the corner, and that's just not knowing the ballpark. About his arm yesterday, Mike. I'm kind of anxious to see if he gets a, you know, legitimate throw where there's a play at third or a play at the plate where we can check this out.
Yeah, they say in high school he actually pitched and threw 97, 98. Pitch inside to Swisher, getting a start in the number 2 hole. Nice spot to be in between Jeter and Teixeira.
I'll tell you one thing, if you're a lefty and you're throwing 97, 98 in high school, you know you got speed, and you know they got high hopes for you to be a position player to move you from the mound when you got that kind of stuff. You see that, and we talked about swinging strikes. Romero, he has good enough stuff to throw the ball by you. He's got a good curveball that he can bury on the back foot of right-handed hitters. And he can run the ball back in on lefties. So he knows how to pitch. He has the kind of stuff that he needs. He's in a frustrating position right now on the team.
Base hit inside first and past Encarnacion. Jeter scores an RBI single for Swisher. Yankees are on the board. They lead 1-0.
I mean, this is just like every game is leading into the other. We talk about that a little bit. The Yankees offense is very tough to pitch to right now. I mean, Nick Swisher's been struggling a little bit, so what do you get? Up, you just go the other way, drive in a guy, and the next thing you know the home runs are coming too. So these are the at-bats that are really going to help the Yankees throw up big numbers.
So a double and a single, and like that, the Yankees are up 1-0. And here is Teixeira.
Everybody that walks to the plate, you're just thinking who's hot, who's not. Well, Teixeira in his last 11 games, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. You know, it's a very tough lineup to pitch to right now.
Count 1-2.
Has a good fastball, good changeup, and he will throw a curveball, kind of like a slurve slider down in on righty. So he has 3 or 4 pitches that he can try to use. He turn that ball over and try to run it away. Try to set up for that ball inside.
Andrew Jones yesterday, that big 3-run home run. Also earned him an interview with Meredith Marakovitz.
It's a big thing.
That is a huge
Talk
thing.
to the Rock.
That's right. High fly ball. Deep left center. Rasmus back. Still back. Looking up. See ya. A 2-run home run for Teixeira. And the Yankees lead 3-0.
Never seen a series where mistakes are home runs. I mean, the ball is carrying, the heat is up, the hitters are hitting, and it's just, if you're pitching against the Yankees right now, you just have to be perfect. you see, that's really a sinker kind of down and away and not that bad of a pitch. Teixeira puts good wood on it, and the ball is just flying.
Paul, he looked like he one-handed that ball.
And that's off the back of the bullpen there.
So the Yankees now have scored 3 or more runs in 42 straight games. And that extends their single-season franchise record. Joe Girardi was asked about it today. He said, you know, we expect to score runs. He said, but it is a little startling that you don't run into a pitcher that can completely shut you down in that stretch of a time. So 42 straight games.
And they've had a few guys who could. Romero being one of them. You've already thrown up a 3 spot. I mean, you had Jared Weaver in the series before who came in with a 1 ERA. So, you know, you face some decent pitching, and it's just the bats are hot right now. There's nobody in this lineup that's not dangerous.
19th home run for Teixeira. He's putting up pretty good numbers. Now has 63 runs batted in. Count 1-2 on A-Rod. Every year you worry about Mark because he gets off slowly, and at the end of the year it's 30 and 100. And he's on his way to that again with great defense at first. The 1-2. Soft ground ball at second base. Kelly Johnson for the first out.
Alex going through kind of a tough time. 4 at-bats yesterday, 4 bullets. You look back at Mark Teixeira, and again, just stays with that ball, and he doesn't lunge on it. And that's the thing, and that gets that bat head extended. You see where that ball landed. It just didn't make it. It hit the back of the bullpen, and it didn't even look like he tried.
Here's Cano. 20-game hitting streak for Cano. As a team in the month of July, the Yankees are hitting .295 with 23 home runs. It's just July 18th.
And we're in the first inning, too. The Yankees are, you know, they're on a hot streak. They're comfortable. They're playing at home. And, you know, all of a sudden they're going to go out to Oakland. They're going to play a team that's kind of overachieving in the Athletics. There's a couple good pitchers in a different ballpark. When it gets cool out there, the ball doesn't carry nearly as well as it does here.
Now, before Cano got on this 20-game hitting streak, he was hitting .295. 15 homers, 35 ribbies. Not bad. During the streak, 405, 6 and 20. Now, overall, he's brought it up to 320, 21 and 55. Driven out to left field. Deep again. Davis back on the track. He leaps. He can't make the play. And Cano will be at second.
That's a ball that a left fielder, you kind of coast on. You don't sprint back to the wall and make it an easy play. And it all has to do with the way the ball is carrying. You see Robbie Cano stay with this ball, kind of a hanging slider. Drives it the other way. But Davis, you see, look back, he's kind of jogging. If you sprint to the wall, use your hand to find it. Much easier play.
I would assume they're going to give him a double. It wasn't an easy play. So it is a double, and it's a 21-game hitting streak for Cano. That extends his new career high.
You talk about the heat, and these are the innings that you want to stay away from if you're a starting pitcher. I mean, you've thrown 17 pitches already. You only have 1 out, giving up 3 runs. Another dangerous hitter at the plate.
And here's Andrew Jones. 5 of his last 6 hits have been home runs.
Let's see, Ricky Romero. That's a sinker again. That's supposed to be down. You know, sinkers down in the zone, very hard to hit. Everything seems to be up in this first inning. Bad place to pitch when it's 95 hot. The ball's carried.
Now 1-1.
That's how Andrew Jones is feeling real comfortable at the plate. When you see swings like that, it's just like the hitter is not worried about anything other. I mean, you're seeing the ball so well that you just feel like you can hit everything into the park.
Good numbers his last 12 games, the 1-1. That one is driven out to right field. That's going to be trouble. It is a base hit up against the wall. Cano will score. And Andrew Jones with an RBI single, and the Yankees lead 4-0.
Again, ball up. This you don't see much from Andrew Jones. More so when he's just late on the fastball, because he's a dead pull hitter. Most of his power to left field. You see, he just kind of late and just laces it over there to right field. I'll tell you what, so far, Michael, these hits haven't been cheap. They're ricocheting off the wall or off the seats.
Bruce Walton, the pitching coach, went out to talk with Ricky Romero, and as he was talking, Romero had his hands on his hips, and that's not good body language, as if, what's going on here? This is a tough lineup to navigate.
It's weird though. Since I've been here, Michael, you just expect these guys to come up and score runs, and when they're not scoring runs, you just kind of in the back of your mind know it's a matter of time before they have a big inning.
Nix rounds the third. There's one on the first. Not in time. Check out the Blue Jay defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. You've seen a lot of these guys chasing doubles already.
You've seen their names already.
Davis, Rasmus, and Ghost. And in the infield, Lawrie, Vizquel, Johnson, and Encarnacion third to first. Aaron Sibia behind the plate. Romero is on the mound.
And this is not the type of outing that you expect from Romero. I mean, I mentioned that he's had 4 consecutive losses, but everything in this inning has been up. He usually drives that ball down in the zone.
There's Russell Martin. Now 1-1. Martin has not had a July to remember. Hitting 107. 3 for 28 this month. Two. And the pitch. And they get Nix off the base, and they pick him off. Good throw by Aaron Sibia, and Encarnacion applies the tag. So Nix is out at first. Speaking of out, first, Derek Jeter doubles. Nick Swisher singles, 1-0. Mark Teixeira hits one out, 3-0, and they tagged on one more, 4-0 Yankees.
2012 All-Star's recent injury will have the biggest effect on his team. And the choices are Jose Bautista right here with the Blue Jays, David Ortiz with the Red Sox, or Joey Votto with Cincinnati. You can text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging, a rate supply.
I think Votto.
Yeah, I mean, Votto, they're in first place right now. They are going to miss him because his is not going to be a short stint, and he is a big part of their offense.
Bautista's supposed to be the 15 days. Ortiz is out about a week with an Achilles problem, and Votto is out 3 to 4 weeks with that knee injury. So it's 4-0 Yankees as the Yankee machine keeps humming. And Adam Lynn will lead off against Hiroki Kuroda. Starting to get a little darker here at the stadium. I'm kind of surprised the lights are not on at this point. And you hate to see a day like this marred by weather, because this is like the first day of the season that I've noticed all over the ballpark, the groups of camp kids all in the same color t-shirt. You know, they make the trip here. They're excited about it. And you want to see a game, and you don't want it delayed as Lynn goes down on strikes.
And Kuroda, if he gets ahead in the count, it looks like he has that good split finger today as a strikeout pitch.
So you got the yellows and the oranges sitting next to each other. You got some blues, got some reds. They're all over the place.
Tell you what, in the old days, though, Michael, you saw all that, but you didn't see the bottles of water and stuff. Everybody worries about these things. You know, just to drop you off and say, fend for yourself. Right? All right.
Yeah, it might give you a buck or two. Go get a soda if you want. But on days like this, the Yankees actually have something that's really cool, and people should be aware of if they're going to be at the ballpark. They have hydration stations all around where you can get cups of water.
Hydration stations?
They've got cooling stations where if you feel overcome by the heat, you can drop by there. So you ask anybody around the stadium that works with the Yankees, and they'll tell you where those are.
I mentioned that Kuroda's only had one career start against the Blue Jays, and Bautista had 2 home runs, and the other guy that had a big game, 3 for 3 with a home run, is at the plate right now. Sabathia had a big game the only other time he faced.
And the 1-2. Hammered foul.
Sabathia came off the bench last night with a pinch hit, and just tough luck. Hit the ball right on the nose to Shera. Makes a good play. Doubled off, goes at first base.
Ball game over.
See ya.
Now, the day game after night game, I can see it's affected you. You've had at least 3 iced teas to get the caffeine in.
Get me going. You warned me.
I needed you today.
Yeah.
I need a good 6-7 innings. I need a quality start.
You got a closer? Huh? Somebody can help me at the end?
I think Marakovitz will have to come off the bench.
The Rock?
Yep. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Aaron Sabathia down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Kuroda.
Again, and they've been on split-fingered fastballs, and they're free swingers. I mean, they're the Blue Jays, and you see this ball kind of just dive out of the zone. Asked David Cohn earlier in the other series if it was easier to pitch with that split finger in the heat. And he said it's definitely a better grip on the ball. Part of the reason why Kuroda probably pitches better in the heat in the summer months over his career.
Blue Jays got Kelly Johnson from the Braves toward the end of last year. Kuroda throwing a lot of strikes, just as CC did yesterday. So 26 pitches, 21 strikes.
again, a lot has to do with the Blue Jays. I mean, they'll swing at a lot of fastballs early in the count. Kuroda's right back where he needs to be to throw that split finger. A little bit too far out. Go right back at it.
Ground ball up the middle. Knocked down by Kuroda. There's no play, so a base hit for Kelly Johnson.
And the first split finger that's put in play. Got that one up in the zone a little bit. See, that ends up in the strike zone. His good split finger ends up in the dirt usually. He gets over. The thing is, if he comes up with that ball, throw him out. He has that kind of arm strength when he's still going to his right to just snap that ball back to first base.
There's a strike.
You notice the lineup today, Michael, with the Blue Jays, and this is what you see when you have a lot of guys injured. All of a sudden, I mean, Davis led off yesterday. You know, all of a sudden you get new guys in there. Now he's hitting 8th. Lawrie was a leadoff hitter coming into the series. He hit 3rd the other day. Now he's hitting 2nd. So, I mean, this thing right here, it's just a scrambled mess every single day. Joe Farrell's just trying to make up some kind of lineup to click. That's what happens when you get a lot of players injured.
Kind of a return home for John Farrell. He grew up on the Jersey Shore. And they said he knew the Leiter brothers. Actually pitched with Al's older brother Kirk. He was a very good player until injuries derailed him. Also Mark and Al. The 1-2. 2-2. Really highly respected pitching coach for the Red Sox. A lot of teams thought he'd be a really good manager. The Blue Jays signed him, and then when Francona lost his job last year, there was talk that the Red Sox really wanted to talk with Farrell, but the Blue Jays said, nope, he's our manager. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Kuroda. He struck out the side. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the second. Russell Martin will start it off.
Hit, but I mean, there are going to be days where pitchers throw the ball extremely well and runs are tough to come by, but our guys have done a good job of just finding a way in some of those tough games to scratch some runs across.
That's Joe before the game talking about what was then a streak of 41 straight games with the Yankees scoring 3 or more runs. Now with the 4 in the first inning, it's 42 games, and that's the longest in-season streak the Yankees have ever had in the franchise history. Franchise started in 1903.
Had some pretty good teams in that time, too.
Yes, they did. Here's Russell Martin. He was up when Jason Hicks got picked off first base. So he gets a fresh count. Foul back, getting much darker here at the stadium. And Paul, who studied meteorology in high school, said he doesn't like the look of the flags flapping around. That one is looped into center field, the base hit.
These are the hits that Russell Martin needs, and this is the inning that Farrell's going to look out there and think, you know, here's my #1 guy. I need some innings out of him. Is he going to bounce back? Or is it just going to be one of those days where nothing goes right for him?
Here's Dwayne Wise. Now the lights are coming on here at the stadium. And there's a strike. Now, if you're a Yankee player, like Mark Teixeira got his 19th home run, and Andrew Jones with a ribby and Swisher with a ribby, you don't want rain right now. You want the 5 innings in, so those count. Wise lost one to left field. Davis puts it away.
You know, it brings back memories. I remember we were playing on a day like this, Kansas City Royals. Tim Belcher was pitching. Hit a home run my first time up. Hit a home run my second time up. 3rd inning or something, right?
Right.
All of a sudden it starts getting dark and sprinkling, and I'm thinking to myself, really? You know, this could be for not, you know? And as players, you know, you get off to a good start, and that's what starts coming through your mind.
Did they get the game in?
Yeah, we ended up getting it.
You don't want those 2 home runs.
I remember we were playing the Marlins down in Miami. First time up, Gary Sheffield, who was with the Marlins at the time. Grand slam, first time up. Played 2 or 3 innings, just downpour. Ended up calling the game, lose a grand slam. It happens. Some people take it better than others. I don't think I'd have been one of those guys that took it real well.
I'm guessing you wouldn't. Ground ball is short. There's 1. And there's 2. So Derek Jeter brings it to an inning-ending double play. Looking to go to the 3rd inning. And Omar Vizquel, 45 years old, leads off.
July 30th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles, the first 18,000 guests 21 and older will receive an insulated can cooler courtesy of Living Language. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
All right, we go to the third inning here at the stadium. Yankees lead 4-0 on the Lincoln scoreboard. And here's Omar Vizquel. Omar Vizquel became the oldest man in baseball history this year to play and start a game at shortstop at the age of 45. Breaking the record set by Bobby Wallace back in 1918. 45's an advanced age for anybody on the field, but to play shortstop, he can still pick it.
I mean, that was his strength. He was always defensively one of the better shortstops in the league. There were some of those bare hand plays he used to make when he was with the Cleveland Indians.
He's got 2,856 hits, and those are the active hit leaders in the big leagues. So he's 7 behind Alex Rodriguez.
Still kind of amazes me with the names and the players that the New York Yankees have. That Derek Jeter is the only player, the only Yankee to have 3,000 hits, and Alex Rodriguez soon to follow. So you're going to have two guys, do something that nobody has before in the legacy of the Yankees.
But Derek will stand alone because he has all his hits with the Yankees. Because they've had previous guys that have played on this team, like Wade Boggs, picked up 3, Dave Winfield. But Derek has done it all in the Yankee uniform, and Alex obviously had many hits with the Mariners and the Texas Rangers. 2-2. Right back to Kuroda. All the way.
Kuroda, to me, reminds me a lot of Sabathia last night. It just seems like he's able to get ahead. He has control of what he needs to do to get ahead in the count. Good fastball. Hasn't used his slider as much as in the past, but is really using a good split finger to get strikeouts. And I tell you, this is the first time that you look at the Blue Jays, and I think it has a lot to do with the way their starters started off the game, and they just look kind of defeated. And you haven't seen that from them this year. And every once in a while, obviously, I think it has a lot to do with Bautista getting hurt the other day. And with star players, it's like, who's next?
This is where it stands right now. Now, the thing that they can convince themselves, they're 2 games out of second place. That's the way they have to look at it, but they're really, really far behind the Yankees. But everybody is. Even the second place team is 9.5 behind.
And, the other wild card, we've talked about it so much. You're only a couple games out of that. But that's if you're full strength. You're excited for those opportunities. If you just feel like you're falling behind, you can't get back.
So 1-2-3 inning for Hiroki Kuroda. It is Mark Teixeira Figurine Day here at the stadium. So you got that when you came to the ballpark, and you got this, a home run, when you sat down in your seats. He's coming up in the bottom of the inning.
Carl, Philly, how in the world do you get along with saying something Philadelphia in New York? Now, how can I order these things? I don't want any Philadelphia stuff. Just give me some meat on bread. Can I do that? That's it. Make it look good. I can do some peppers, yeah. They say a good Manhattan restaurant only does 200-300 meals a night. You do 600? These hot? Yes, sir. All right. Don't be piling me up, man. It's 100 degrees out there. Oh, I'll enjoy it. No doubt about that. Oh, all right. Let's do it. Philadelphia, you got nothing.
That's my guy, Paul O'Neill, on his Grub Crawl. You've heard of pub crawls in Manhattan. This is a Grub Crawl where I think you tried every single concession stand, didn't you?
We made a half a loop. I got here a little bit yesterday, a little bit early, and we made a half a loop, and I couldn't take anymore. So we'll do the other part of the loop later. It's kind of fun. You don't understand, because every time I was just looking at during batting practice, we were doing that, and you know, while you're on the field, you don't get to enjoy all the amenities at the ballpark, especially in new Yankee Stadium. That was kind of fun.
Lincoln scoreboard 4-0 Yankees. So you like the Philly cheesesteak?
Oh, that was really good. I didn't put the cheese on it.
Okay.
I just meat and peppers, and that was enough.
Now, can you give us a little preview of other places that you hit?
Well, I think you can guess we hit an ice cream stand at the end.
All right, did you go to Lobel's?
We didn't make it to Lobel's, but we went to Nathan's. Nathan's has a big menu, so we got a few things. Nathan's really going to surprise you, Michael, because we even added ketchup to that, which I know is off your menu.
We'll see all of Paul's Grub Paul. Grub.
I got you confused. Spit it
Crawl.
out there.
There it is. And, you know, throughout Paul games that he's going to be with us, we'll see some of the other stuff that he tried out. Nick Swisher grounds one foul. I am surprised, though, no Lobel's. I know you're a big Lobel's fan, and they brought it up to the booth.
Well, believe me, we've got some more of this. We didn't crawl one day. We're going to continue to crawl.
Did you hit Johnny Rockets?
Oh, we'll be there, too. Might even hit the back streets around here too. Just keep crawling.
All right. Grub Crawl. I'll get it right. 3-2. Strike three. Swisher down looking.
Every once in a while, as a hitter, you know, he got me. And you see Nick Swisher just halfway there. He got kind of froze up on this sinker away, probably looking in. See ya. I'm going. Actually, that ball was supposed to be in. Ended up running away. Every once in a while, as a hitter, you feel that catcher starting to inch in on the inside part of the plate, and you start to look there. That ball ran away.
Mark Teixeira hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. High pop-up. Lawrie leans, does not make the play, and falls hard onto the concrete. But he gets back to his feet. Oh, he looks like he's hurt. Oh, did he take a tumble?
Hit that knee probably on that cement in there, and I'll tell you what, that's quite an effort. And that's the things that you see with, you know, teams that just got guys out on the field. Some guys just give it their all. And Lawrie, you can tell the way he plays defense. One of those guys. You just, I mean, here are the Blue Jays. What's next? What else can happen?
Take a look at the tumble that he took. All out, all effort. Almost had it, and then there's nothing to break his fall. Ooh. His foot hit that railing. Teixeira couldn't even look. No, he's hurt.
That's an ankle or a knee. I mean, it's just amazing what is going on with this team with good players. Their starting five, 3 of them gone. Their closer's gone. Their star player, their star hitter, now their star rookie or star young guy.
I think it was that ankle on that railing, Paul. That came down hard. Again, we'll find out a little bit later, but they've already lost Encarnacion in this series. Now this. He really sold out his body for that play, and it's a team that is losing 4-0. I think I say Encarnacion. They lost Bautista. So we're going to get a new third baseman. They're going to bring in Escobar to play short, and Vizquel will move to third. Now you hope that Lawrie's okay. He's a good player. This is how far he went for this ball. John Farrell must be really wondering what's going on.
Yeah, you try to inch over and you think you can just kind of lunge, and it you know, that railing hits you too low and it just doesn't brace your fall.
So Vizquel will take over at third. The 0-2. Still 0-2. And you can see he's talking about the ankle hitting on that pole. Telling Brian Butterfield. Count 2-2.
Blue Jays might have to start canceling games. They're not going to have enough guys to play the field.
1-2. The board is off. It says 2-2 here in the stadium, but it's 1-2. Now it's 2-2. There's a base hit through the left side. Really dark, threatening skies coming over the left field grandstand here in the stadium. Kind of light over the ballpark, but you look left, it doesn't look great. We had a 51-minute rain delay at the start, and it really didn't rain.
It looks like it might make up for it here soon.
There was thunder and lightning, so they didn't have the players come out on the field. Here's A-Rod.
Every once in a while you get up and you're driving in and it's like 96 degrees and it's sunny and it's like something's got to give. I mean, it's got to rain at some point because it can't be this hot.
High fly ball. Right field. For the second out.
Talking about Alex Rodriguez, he had 4 really good at-bats last night and got nothing to show for it. And then today you come in and it's like you try to do a little bit more. Really hard mentally to stay right where you are when you go 0 for 4. But he had good at-bats last night. Today, looks like he's just trying to do a little much.
Here's Cano. 1-0. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson. 21-game hitting streak. It was extended in the first inning with that double, and that's what he's done during the streak. Magnificent numbers. Driven to center field. Right there is Rasmus, and that will do it in the third. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the fourth in the stadium. Rasmus, Encarnacion, and Lynn. Robinson Cano is on his first career 20 more game hitting streak. Who has the most hitting streaks of 20 more games in Yankees history? We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning. Paul, do you know what your longest hitting streak was?
I don't think, maybe 20. I don't know. It wasn't.
I looked it up.
Did you?
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, I didn't.
In 1998.
I usually got to about 15. That's when you started talking to me about it. It was pretty much over.
So you blame it on me?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a good 56 when I mean until you started talking about it.
Rasmus fouls it back. Kuroda's allowed just one hit. An infield single. Kelly Johnson grounded one up the middle, knocked down by Cano. He couldn't grab it, though, to make the throw. That's the only hit. And that was with 2 outs in the second. Kuroda has struck out 4. He has not walked the batter. Mentioning this whole series, we have seen very few hitters stand this far up front in the box.
You see this, you saw that. You see the 2 holes in the back of the box, and that's where 99% of the guys stand. Smith just must feel that he gets a better look at the ball on top of the plate out front. Okay, you see the holes here. That's where everybody stands, and you see where he is. He steps on the plate. He's got it all going on, Michael. Everything you're not supposed to do. Step on the plate, stride out of the box.
And the only advantage is, I guess, you want to get the splitter before it breaks, and you want to get the breaking ball before it breaks. I would think you'd be susceptible to a fastball. Must have very quick hands to be that close. It's working for him. 17 homers and 55 ribbies coming in.
Sometimes you don't even have to crawl to get some grub. We just are lucky enough to get a little cool off right here in the booth.
They sent Paul some Johnny Rocket shakes. High fly ball. Swisher makes the play. 2 outs.
Here, I'll talk for a while. You go ahead and have a little bit of that milkshake. Right? Pretty good. I'll tell you that right now. Thank you out there, Johnny Rockets. If we get a rain delay, we might put a burger over in too.
Garlic knots too. There's some garlic knots there.
I passed on those yesterday.
Really?
Oh, I didn't even see Brother Jimmy's.
Brother
I
Jimmy's
still got a long way to go around here.
A lot of stuff in this place. It's a big ballpark.
We'll finish up with you and I a little dinner for 2, candlelight up at the New York Steak.
NYY Steak?
Yeah.
Do we need the candlelight? That makes me a little uncomfortable.
Maybe we better bring the wives along, right?
Yeah. 1-0. There's a strike.
Has not been able to stay off of it. It starts in the zone, ends up in the dirt.
The 1-2.
Again, these are just, fastballs completely out of the zone. Nothing you can do with them, but just to show the hitter that you're not going to throw that split finger over and over again. Ball way up out of the strike zone. Just keep in the back of the mind of the hitter that you still have a fastball.
Slow roller to short. Nix charges and gets Lynn. And that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Kuroda and the Yankees. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Andrew Jones will start it off. Cano is on his first career 20 or more game hitting streak. Who has the most hitting streaks of 20 more games in Yankees history?
DiMaggio, doesn't it? I mean, we were talking about his streaks yesterday.
Now let's see. Well, you've been on fire.
Hot.
5 hitting streaks for 20 or more games, and yesterday was the anniversary of his hitting streak being snapped, the 57th game, so he stopped at 56. Andrew Jones swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Vizquel. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the fourth. So Jason Nix, the number 7 batter in the lineup, comes up to the plate for the Yankees, and that gives us today's MetLife stat of the game. And both Paul and I looked at this, we couldn't believe it. From the 7th spot in the order, the Yankees have 75 runs batted in, the best in the majors. The Brewers rank second with 59, and the major league average is 41 ribbies. They have 75.
It's unbelievable, and those are the guys that Joe Girardi just plug in, here or there, and they've just really come through and had, great offensive things happening.
4-0 Yankees. Nix reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and then got picked off by the catcher Aaron Sibby at first. Nix was 3 for 4 yesterday in the game. And that one is hammered in the left center field. Long run for Rasmus. He's not going to get there. It'll go to the wall. And Nix has himself a double.
I'll tell you what, a lot of times Joe Girardi, we saw it with Dwayne Wise a couple weeks ago, that you get a little spot start and you have such a good game that you kind of earn another start. And again, he's just in a streak right now where he's seeing the ball well. Joe Girardi giving him another opportunity. Ball up again from Romero, just hammered in left center.
His 3 for 4 yesterday, that was his career high in hits in a game, so now he has a hit today. Runner on second, 1 out. Here is Russell Martin. Russell with a single in the second inning. Runge said he checked his swing. Pitch outside.
Russell Martin is at that time of the year where you can just kind of look at your stats and you just have to readjust them. And if you expected to hit 270, 280, you readjust them, which makes it a lot easier than just seeing that 180 to 280 because you don't have that much time in the rest of the year. So you adjust them, you try to have a good second half, and you look at it that way. It's much easier mentally to go to the ballpark every day instead of trying to climb that hill.
But I would think, Paul, that's a big scoreboard in center field. It's hard to miss 183.
It is, but I mean, you have to put yourself at, all right, I'm looking at 9 home runs and 23. By the end of the year, I want to hit 15 home runs. I want to be in the 220s. And that looks like you can do it. To come into the year and think I'm going to hit 20 home runs and I'm going to hit 280, those are my goals. And then you look at yourself in mid-July or late July, you can't get there. Then all of a sudden you get rid of this, and you just get different goals. And if you get reachable goals in your head, you can reach them.
What was the deepest you buried yourself in the latest of the season? You remember?
Well, I mean, the last couple of years that I played, you finally, you hit 300 for 6 or 7 years in a row. Then all of a sudden you realize in September you're hitting 280, you're not going to make it, and it's just it's frustrating. You just have to realize that some years don't add up the way they're supposed to. Was very good at that as Derek Jeter. Remember how deep he was, and it was mid to late May, and then he bounced back and he still had a good solid year. And it just goes to show you the confidence that Derek Jeter has in himself.
And a walk to Russell Martin. A lot of people just lean back on their baseball card, and they feel, I don't care how I start, I don't care what my numbers are at what point, I'm going to reach the back of my baseball card, and that gives them confidence.
Yeah, but there is a point in the year that, that if you've had a year like Russell Martin has this year, that you're not going to reach those numbers. But that doesn't mean that you still can't, especially as a catcher. That's one of those positions that defensively you can still concentrate and feel like you've done a good job, where if you're a center fielder, right fielder, and you're hitting 180 with 9 home runs, you're not going to have an opportunity. As a catcher, you can be that important to a team by catching good games defensively, and he still has a lot of at-bats, a lot of big at-bats left where he can help his team win.
That one is drilled to right field. Did he get it? He got it enough for a double as it bounces into the seats. 1 run will score. Martin stops at third. It's an RBI double for Wise, and the Yankees lead 5-0.
It was kind of a strange start. You see Dwayne Wise, a lefty. Most of his starts will be against righties, and you kind of scratch your head, and then you look at the stats. Joe Girardi didn't do this just out of accident. Lefties have more luck off Ramiro than righties in the past. So he doesn't have a real sharp breaking ball. A lot of times he'll hit it up in the zone, and then Dwayne Wise hammered that one.
Blue Jays bring the infield in. There's lightning in the background here in the stadium. You need to get the top of the 5th inning to make it official game. Need to get those 3 outs in as Jeter fouls it away.
I tell you what, if you watch that foul, those are the ones that people get hurt on because you're so late and there's just absolutely no time to react for the guys in the dugout. You're not accustomed to seeing the ball come off at that angle.
And you wonder how they ever had dugouts without fences in front of them.
Remember Old Vero Beach?
Yes, that was scary.
Down in spring training, they were just benches out in the middle of nowhere, real close to home plate with no guardrail whatsoever.
And it wasn't even kind of like dug down. It was like field level. And you were sitting duck. You really were.
Yeah. It was the old Dodger Town.
This was great.
Yeah, well, it was pretty cool.
1-1.
He's trying to get everybody on the field. He hammers one down to Russell Martin. That's why as a base runner, as a base runner, you always lead off in foul territory, because if that ball hits you, you want to be in foul territory so you're not out. Realizes if Farrell's going to keep him out there, I mean, he's going to get his 100, 110 pitches in. And you look at he's struggling. He's giving up runs, but there's nobody up in the bullpen. You're the ace. You better turn it around. You're going to get your work in. Won't ruin your year by just sulking out there and giving up a 10 spot.
Matinee crowd here at Yankee Stadium on a hot Wednesday afternoon. Jeter batting.
Nobody's safe in here. The dugout's out of third baseline. Jeter's hitting foul balls all over this place.
Jeter's had unbelievable success against lefties this year, hitting .384. He's 1 for 2 against Romero today. Started the Yankees' first inning with a double to right center. Over the head of goes. 2-2. Count is full.
Romero, you're just trying to figure out what you can go to in big situations like this, and he has not been able to throw his curveball sharp enough to get swing and misses, which he has in the past. His changeup he hasn't had a good idea with, and his fastball has been up in the zone. So there's nothing he can really rely on in these big pitches.
And Jeter works a walk to load the bases. Well, we have word on Brett Lawrie, the third baseman. Here's the injury. A pop-up by Teixeira. Lawrie sells out, and his right calf has been injured. Kind of like leg whips himself into that hole, and they are taking him for x-rays. So I'm sure John Farrell crossing his fingers, hoping for the best. Right now it's a bruised right calf. Pitch is low.
This is at least the third time since I've been in town that Nick Swisher's come up with bases loaded. He has a lot of opportunities in these last couple series.
And the first 2 times he struck out looking.
Once in a while, as a catcher, you're like, oh, what was that? You're not on the same page as Romero on what you call. Make sure you got the signs.
Chad Beck warming for the Blue Jays. Swisher was out on the field before the game and talking with his usual energy to the wounded Warriors that the Yankees honor today. The 1-0. Rounding to third. Vizquel. There's one. So Vizquel picks the hot shot off the bat of Swisher, and that'll do it. Here in the fourth, we go to the fifth. Aaron Sabathia will lead it off. Chance to catch this game and every Yes Network game another time around. If you missed any of the big hits and great plays, just watch the encore later every night or again the next morning at 9 o'clock. And it's brought to you by our good friends at Verizon Fios. Hiroki Kuroda has pitched well for the Yankees. Allowed just one hit, an infield single to Kelly Johnson. On the Kia scoreboard, Yankees lead 5-0. And these 3 outs are important. With bad weather in the forecast, you get these 3 outs. It's an official game. Although it seems a little lighter overhead than it did earlier. There's a strike to Aaron Sabathia.
To me on his last outing against Anaheim, he had a line that looked like he pitched really bad, but he actually pitched pretty good, and then he gave up that one crushing home run that Trumbo hit late in the game, that 3-run home run that, we ended up giving up 5 runs. So it's a good day for him to have a good game and get another win under his belt where he can. I guarantee the pitchers are looking at CC Sabathia back. It's good to see. Now everybody's kind of in their position. Nobody looks to be a number 1 now because CC's back. They can just continue to go out, give this team innings, and right now you got to be fighting to take that mound as many runs as the Yankees are scoring.
Lined into left center. It's a base hit. It's off the glove of Wise. Backing up is Jones, and he will get the ball in. We'll see how they score that. Should be a single and an error, but they might just give Aaron Sabathia a straight double. I think Wise got caught. Should I make the play or not?
Yeah, he got a good break on it. Thought he could get to it, and then you figure it out. I'm not going to get there, and then it kind of, I don't know if this ball went off his glove or his head, but he kind of got a bounce up off his hand.
And they just scored a double.
Good job knocking it down to keep it to a double, because that ball goes to the wall. See, the ball just kind of comes up.
There's Kelly Johnson. Now I have a question that will get inside your mind and your psyche. Ready, Paul? You never gave it a bat away.
Well, I don't know if you say never. You try not to.
Well, you never wanted to give it a bat. Every at bat was important.
Didn't want to, absolutely.
All right, so you hit 2 home runs in the first 3 innings. It's pouring. You're a guy up in the 5th inning. You got to get the 5th inning in. Do you just give the bat away?
No, because you think, you know, they'll bring the tarp on and it'll clear up, and then I'll be chapped because I'm 2 for 3. Instead, I didn't give myself a chance.
All right, so let's say you have a 10-pit battling at bat, you make it out, and then they put the tarp on and they call the game. And you missed the home runs.
I'd be a little upset. Like I said, I didn't deal with things real well like that.
I wonder if any teams give up at bats in the 5th inning just to get the game in because the forecast is so dire and they have a lead.
You know, I have heard of, you know, get up there, you know, hurry up, and especially on the pitcher's thing, get out there, start throwing strikes, try to get through this inning. Really never on the other end where guys, you know, go up and give at bats away. But I've heard that kind of, you know, the backwards where you get that pitcher out there quick, get him ready where he can try to get through an inning.
Would you, if you're on the road, though, and you have like a 6-0 lead top of the 5th inning, you want them to get up and get their outs, would you swing at the first pitch, or would you still continue to work the count?
Well, I think you become a little more aggressive. But, you know, this day and age, there's so many less games called because the fields are so much better taking water and the tarps and the grounds crew that a lot of times, I mean, no matter what, you're going to end up finishing these games, especially when they start. You know, you've got about 45,000 people here today. You've started. There's just so many there's so many things involved once you've started the game at calling.
Johnson battling. Served into left field and caught by Andrew Jones.
I remember in the days, Andrew Jones, one of the best outfielders in all of baseball. He's moved over to left field, and this is the toughest play for a left or a right fielder because the ball is right in front of you and you can't dive to the side. And you just have to reach in front, and you know if you miss it, it's gone. Much harder to judge when the ball's right in front of you than to the side.
10 Gold Gloves he won as the center fielder with the Braves. Catch looks good in Yesmo, and it looks good for Kuroda. Here's Rajay Davis. He pops it up. Teixeira backpedaling, moving there, over his shoulder, makes the play. Nice play by Teixeira, and a first down.
Think about it. How many games do you see where Mark Teixeira does not make a good play defensively? And this isn't an easy play. I mean, it's over the shoulder and the ball has spin on it, so it's kind of coming back to you. He's got all the facial expressions for those plays too, huh?
Larry Fitzgerald would be proud. Cardinals' great receiver. So Aaron Sibia stays at second, 2 out for Vizquel. And there's a strike. The 0-1. 0-2. .68 pitches for Kuroda, and that's how it breaks down. Had that nice third inning, just 9 pitches.
A lot of those pitches have been because he's gone in and with strikeouts. You strike out, you start striking out pitchers, your pitch count does get up a little bit.
.51 strikes, 18 balls. Kuroda looking to pick up his 9th win. Chop towards second. Right there is Cano, and Kuroda works out of trouble. Survives the inning opening double. It is an official game here at the stadium. 4.5 in the books. Yankees lead 5-0. Question: which 2012 All-Stars recent injury will have the biggest impact on his team? You've been texting us, and you think it's going to be Joey Votto.
And you're right.
At 51%. But the Red Sox just got some bad news. David Ortiz now has been put on the DL. So it's not going to be a week with that Achilles problem. Mark Teixeira is low. 1-0. Just when they start getting people back, they got back Ellsbury. They got back Crawford. Kia scoreboard 5-0 Yankees. Now Ortiz goes down and starts to rain here at the stadium. It's as if the skies waited for the game to become official. And you can see the crowd starting to scamper back to get some cover. Concern look on the face of the head groundskeeper, Danny Cunningham. Joe Girardi not as concerned as he was about 4 minutes ago. Grounded to third. Vizquel. Not away. There's a new member of the Yankee family. We said yesterday during the broadcast that Mike Bonner and his wife Mandy were watching the Yankee game, waiting for this little one to make her way into the world. We welcome Addison Charlie Bonner, the couple's second daughter, into the world. Congratulations to Mandy and to Mike. Mike runs the scoreboard here at Yankee Stadium.
It's impressive.
Yankee beret or bow. Very cool. Congratulations. Everybody's doing well.
First, second?
Second daughter. Grounded to third. It's going to be a long throw for Vizquel. And the 45-year-old makes it to get Alex Rodriguez for the second out.
I mean, the big difference here is he knows he's got a long throw. He can still get it across the diamond by getting rid of the ball quick. See, that ball doesn't stay in his glove very long. Gets Alex by a step.
So 2 down, that'll bring up Cano. Romero deals. And 21-game hitting streak, and in the hitting streak, Cano's had 11 multi-hit games. He has 1 hit today.
There's 1 hit, then he also hit a line drive right on the nose. So this is just one of those times where Robbie is locked in, lefties, righties, it doesn't matter. He's hitting the ball hard every single time up. Some fall, some don't. See Romero, it does not matter. Every inning he is just trying to figure out something, and he's just battled because he doesn't have as good control. He doesn't have as good breaking ball. Just doesn't have a pitch he can rely on. Keep going over his troubles. I mean, here's a guy. I mean, he truly is a #1 starter for a lot of teams in baseball. I mean, he can do a lot of things out there when he's throwing the ball well.
3-1. 3-2.
Tied Robbie up a little bit. You see, that's where Robbie gets in trouble when he knows he's going to get a pitch to hit. He kind of leaves the zone. The ball's up and in. Not really a good pitch to hit, but he was thinking one thing there. You see the spikes get caught in that clay when it gets a little wet down there.
Pitches for Romero. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 5-0. 48 strikes, 32 balls. That's how it breaks down. Rounded to first. Right there is Encarnacion. He'll make the play, and the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the 6th. Blue Jays are down 5-0, but they send up the top of the order against Kuroda.
Out with Michael Kay for a new GMC Presents Center Stage. With the Olympics later this month, the 9-time gold medalist discusses his storied career, including his rivalry with Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson. It's a new center stage tonight at 10 o'clock, only on Yes.
You know, you don't realize how dominant he was, Paul. I mean, he just won everything for such a long stretch of time. Interesting story. There's Anthony goes, and he bunts and bunts foul. At 12:22 p.m. on the field, that's the temperature. And at 3:30, it's cooling off. It's practically cold now at 90 degrees.
Guys going in and put their sleeves on?
I guess. And thankfully the rain has held up, held off. Blue Jays have let go for a long time. They tried to get him from the Phillies in the Halladay deal. The Phillies would not relinquish him. The Phillies did end up relinquishing him in a deal with the Astros for Roy Oswalt. And then the Blue Jays got him from Houston in the Brett Wallace deal. He was slashed into the seats, and luckily no one was hit.
See what happened. The policeman picked it up and gave it to a little kid.
I like that. New York's finest. 2-2. Strike three. Goes down looking.
Haven't seen that today, and that's that two-seam fastball at a left-hander's hip. Run it over the inside corner.
Tough pitch.
Yeah, not much you can do with it. You give up on it as a hitter because on the area where you're picking the ball up, it's inside.
Here's Yunel Escobar. His first at bat. He took over in the lineup when Brett Lawrie had a lead. Tried to make a diving play on a foul ball at the camera well on the outfield side of the Blue Jay dugout. Injured his right calf. And they're saying it's a right calf contusion, which is an injury, a bruise. And they're listing him as day-to-day after the x-ray. That's good news. He looked like he was really hurt.
See, Kuroda's using that fastball now, but he's getting a lot of movement on it. It's kind of going game to game here. I mean, today it's been the fastball and the split finger. A couple starts ago, he threw the ball well where he was using a slider a lot. So there's a guy that warms up before the game and tries to figure out what he has that day. Really good at it as of late.
Dribbled slowly to third, charging A-Rod, can't handle it cleanly. It's going to be a base hit for Escobar.
A-Rod to his, and what are you going to do here? You're battling, you're coming in, and he got caught in the area where the dirt meets the grass. And it's very tough to judge that hop. You know, you've got a do or die play, you got to field it cleanly. This one off the heel. It's that tough point where you don't know whether it's going to stay down or come up. As soon as you don't come up with it cleanly, you know it's a hit.
Foul ball, hit hard right down the line. They did give Escobar a hit. He needed it. He was 0 for his last 12. So didn't expect to be in the game. They gave him a day off, and he gets in and gets the hit. Breaks his slide. Rasmus has not had a good July. 9 hits and 50 at bats. That's 180. So his average down to 246, but he still has more ribbies than any center fielder in the American League with 55. Popped up. Rodriguez is there, and he makes a play. For some reason, the crowd with a derisive cheer as if the play on Escobar was an easy play that he boxed. It was scored a hit, and it should have been scored a hit. And they give it to him when he catches an easy pop-up. He did make a throwing error in the first inning.
Yeah, but you wonder sometimes. I mean, you're coming to watch to see the New York Yankees win or lose, basically, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at the scoreboard and it's 5-0. Your pitcher's dealing. I guess that's not enough. 95. Kuroda's got good fastball today. Encarnacion's the man right there now with Bautista out of the lineup. A lot more pressure on him to drive in every run possible.
There's some thunder in the background. Pitch inside.
You know, you would think, as well as the Yankees are playing, you would look back and think, you know, they're playing some teams that they should be beating. You know, Toronto came into this season, or came into this series, one game over 500. Now they're under 500. So the Yankees are 27-10 in their last 37. They have not played a losing team since June 3rd. So I mean, they're beating some of the better teams in the American League right now.
3-2. Because the Blue Jays are under 500, today's the day that streak ends. And the Yankees actually put Toronto under 500 by beating them the last 2 days. So runner's going to go, 3-2, 2 outs. Shattered bat, slow ground ball to A-Rod. And the out is made at first, and that will do it. No runs are hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Andrew Jones will lead off, and Encarnacion loses a bat. The Wednesday game of the week is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's been all Yankees, 5-0. Kuroda has pitched beautifully. Ricky Romero has struggled. Yankees scored 4 runs in the first inning. He settled down somewhat, but his offense not there against Kuroda. Andrew Jones swings in the first pitch and pops it up sky high. Escobar calls off Vizquel. 1 away. Let's take a look at the K by K, Paul. It's brought to you by Mazda.
Well, you see a lot of them, and they're going to be on the split-fingered fastball. Every one of them down in the zone. Tell you what, when you pitch ahead, that split finger is really good. Kuroda's had the best stuff I've seen in a long time with fastball in the mid-90s and a good split finger.
You know whose birthday it is today, Paul?
Lisa Michele, does that mean anything to you?
No.
Friends of ours out in Westchester, it's her birthday.
Okay, so happy birthday to Lisa. But someone also very close to you, your old manager, Joe Torre, turned 72 today. Happy birthday to Joe Torre.
Happy birthday, Skip. I'm going to fire a text out to him right now.
Nix fouls it back. You know, it bothers me, Paul, when I make mistakes. There's Kelly Johnson out at second base, and earlier I had said Kelly Johnson came over to trade from the Braves. Yesterday I said the right thing. I don't know. I had a brain cramp. And boy, Twitter reminds you when you get something wrong. Kelly Johnson was acquired for Aaron Hill from the Diamondbacks, not the Braves. So I apologize, and thanks to everybody following. That one is looped into left field. A base hit for Nix. It's a good 2 days for Nix. He has 5 hits and 7 at-bats.
You got to believe that Joe Girardi will ride out these hot streaks, and some of these guys that are just getting starts here and there, and would not be surprised to see him in the lineup again tomorrow night in Oakland somehow. Not an easy thing to do, you know, get a start here or there and come in and feel good at the plate, put together a few good games. Tell you what, when you get these hot streaks from your guys, it allows you to give some of your players, some of your everyday players, days off without missing a beat. And with the lead that they have in the American League East, I mean, you've got to think right now of doing that, because you know you're setting up, like we've talked before, the Yankees of playing in October, and you don't want to walk into October with some of these guys, you know, kind of limping along.
And the Yankees do have an older team. It was a gutsy call by the Yankees when they brought Nix into the mix, because Eduardo Nunez is a good offensive player, but the Yankees felt, the manager, the coaches, front office, they couldn't have Nunez continue to be so shaky in the field. So they sacrificed offense for defense as Vizquel guns down Martin, and it turned out to be a pretty good move. And unfortunately for Eduardo, he's been hurt down in the minor leagues. So Nix moves to second. And Nix can really play all around. He can play the outfield, he can play infield position, so he's done a good job for them. Chad Beck up for the Blue Jays. Dwayne Wise grounds one up the middle. A base hit. Coming home is Nix, and he will make it. Another one of the bench bombers comes through. An RBI single for Wise, and it's 6-0 Yankees.
Again, this was just not a coincidence. I mean, Romero has had trouble getting lefties out this year. Joe Girardi gives Wise a start against a lefty. He's come through with 2 hits.
And 2 ribbies.
Kind of a cutter that just lays out there. This is a good pitch for a lefty to hit when it's not a sharp breaker.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek 1 for 2 with a walk. And a strike.
Well, Derek Jeter started this game off lacing one to right field. He knew that pitch one that Romero was up in the zone and it has not stopped. He makes a mistake up there, the Yankees have been tattooed. There's another one.
Base hit to right field.
I mean, the location of these pitches is the only problem Romero's having. He has not been able today to keep it in a count continually down in the zone. And you see Derek Jeter with that approach to right center field. Boom, ball out away, and you see the catcher reaching across his body up in the zone. Just fits into exactly what Derek Jeter's trying to do.
Pitch inside to Swisher. Swisher today, RBI single in the first. He scored a run, then struck out looking and wrapped into an inning double play in the fourth inning with the bases loaded. Now you see the eye black. Great play by Rob Thompson. Wow.
What a snag.
Because he's closer to home plate because of the runner at second, and that was a great play.
Show that your hand hurts, Robbie, because this stings. See that? Nothing to it. You know, the reason it hurts is because there's so much spin on the ball when it's hit. It's just not like a flat, and it, you know, as it hits your bare hand, it hurts.
That time he didn't try to make the play, skipped the rope. I was talking about eye black, and eye black is supposed to take away the glare and, you know, have a nice dark part of your cheek. And I wonder how that works when he's got the interlocking NY on the eye black, and then sometimes players put Bible verses on there. Wouldn't that be distracting?
I don't know if you see it or not. I could never wear the real eye black. I mean, Mattingly was a pro with the eye black. I could never see. Those are all stickers now. You just stick them on. Because the real eye black was, I'd end up smearing it all over your face.
Strike three, Swisher down looking. But the Yankees get another run on 3 hits, 2 men left. We're going to the 7th. Yankees lead the Blue Jays 6-0. We go to the 7th inning. It's time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Yankees lead 6-0, 6-12-1 for the Yanks, 0-3-0 for the Blue Jays. Kuroda has done a good job. Teixeira 2 for 3, including a 2-run home run in the first inning. Lawrie left the game in the 3rd inning with a calf injury, and there was a 51-minute delay to start the game. The tarp wasn't on, it didn't rain, but there was thunder and lightning, and they were expecting it, but they held up. And right now you might get rain on the back end. There's rain all over the ballpark, or around the ballpark, but it has not hit this piece of real estate, thankfully. So Adam Lynn grounds the first pitch to Cano, 1 away. There's Nick Mangold looking sharp. New York Jets center. He's good.
Different personality to be an NFL player, don't you think?
I would think. Cadillac scoreboard 6-0.
I see
Yankees over the Blue Jays. I do see some rain. So far, Paul, we have nothing to complain about. We're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Three pitches for Kuroda. And the 1-1. What I've noticed, and Paul gave you the stat before about all the winning teams with winning records the Yankees have played, and the Yankees just haven't survived that stretch. They've thrived during that stretch, building their lead up to 9.5 games. And you don't want to disparage other teams, but you've almost got to get the eye test here. That one's grounded through the right side for a base hit as the Yankees were shifting. Second base hit for Aaron Sibia. Paul, there are a lot of average teams out there. You look around the American League, and well, what are the teams that jump out at you? The Rangers. I thought the Angels were pretty good. But who else that the Yankees have played really scares you? Everybody has some kind of serious flaw.
Yeah, I mean, we did the White Sox series. I was surprised. I thought they were a little better than I thought they would be, but still not to the caliber where you could go into a 7-game series and feel like the Yankees were an underdog. No, I haven't seen a team yet.
Did that get Kelly Johnson? Yes, it did. Kelly Johnson, who was traded from the Diamondbacks.
I'm glad you got that across, Michael. But yeah, but I mean, you're taking everything in right now when the Yankees are at their best. And it's hard to put any other team up against them now because they're pitching well and they're scoring runs like it's easy. And, you know, early in their year where they were having some trouble scoring runs, they were a different team.
You look at the wild card standings, and this is going to make this year a little bit more interesting in that way because we're 2 wild card teams. And there's a huge incentive to win the division, so you don't have to play that 1-game wild card playoff. But it's bunched up 6 teams within a half game of each other. First and second, 1 out. Tries to bunt and misses. Some teams that have good pitching, Paul, they have anemic offenses. That Tampa Bay struggles to score runs, and they've missed Evan Longoria. Red Sox have been ravaged by injuries, but their starting pitching has not been good. Their bullpen's been shaky, and that's also been injured. I mean, you can go chapter and verse all these teams and find out real flaws, and then when you see the Yankees play them, and you know, you said, well, we're judging them when the Yankees are playing really well, but are they really clicking, or are they just better than these teams right now?
Well, you do have a good point. On paper, they're just better than they are. And depth-wise, nobody in baseball, American League or National League, can compare to what the Yankees have done with all the injuries to be able to still go out and just day in and day out beat people. And, you know, that goes to credit to the organization that have put together and knowing that with an older team, you're going to have some bang-ups, you're going to have some injuries, you're going to have guys that need days off, and they've plugged in some guys that have done good jobs, you know, filling in.
So Boone Logan getting ready for the Yanks. Davis battling, fouls that away.
Yeah, you know, they're better starting yesterday than they were because they got CC Sabathia back. And, you know, the news on Jabba Chamberlain has been unbelievable. He could be another power arm in the bullpen. Andy Pettit, who knows? He could come back and pitch well in September and be part of your rotation in the playoffs. So a lot of good things happening for the Yankees right now.
If you look at the Yankee record right now, they are 56-34. So that's easy math. They've played 90 games. So that means, including today, they have 72 games remaining. So let's say they go 500 in these 72 games, which is unlikely because they're a much better team than that. But they go 36-36. They're a 92-win team.
Right.
Now, who else in the American League East is going to win 92 games?
No.
Now, people could go off on a streak, so that skews the numbers a little bit, but that's simple right there. They play 500. They're a 92-win team, and we know they're not a 500 team. Because they will be getting injured players back. They will be getting Pettit back in September. They will be getting Jabba back. Not sure about Brett Gardner. There's still no word on what the MRI showed, but it doesn't look great.
But it's amazing. I mean, it just seems like one of those years, okay, Brett Gardner, he's a big loss. Sure he is, because he's really the only speed you have on the team. But then, you know, you look what the production of left field has been since he's been out, and it's been unbelievable. Just looking at these numbers, left fielders have hit 345, 10 home runs, 23 RBIs over the last 23 games alone.
Two. Grounded to Alex Rodriguez. There's one, and that's all they'll get.
Now Davis runs well. I mean, Alex Rodriguez did a good job of just making sure you make a good throw and get that first out.
So 2 down, and that'll bring up Omar Vizquel. We talk about the Yankees if they go 36-36. Well, since May 30th, they're 35-13. So that's 22 games over 500 since May 30th. Runner was going, and the ball fouled off, knocking the mask off of Martin. John Flaherty insists that doesn't affect you.
I think he had too many of them. He just forgot. Where is Flash? He's still with us? I haven't seen Flash all year.
He's back.
Yeah.
Back next homestand. Oh, they had him picked. The old Jeff Nelson almost worked, but he didn't throw right away to first base.
We're going to miss this next year, Mike. When you say they're making this
a balk.
It's a balk next year that's moved.
He got tagged on the nose.
Ouch. All he's interested in a safer outside at that point.
We have seen that work more in this homestand than I've seen it work in a couple of years.
I think you're right. Terrace has got to be closed tonight, right, Michael? Chance of rain, shut it down on rainy nights.
It'll be shut down.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to try it again. Does that move get you, Michael? You've seen it so many times up here. Would that get you if you were on first base?
You know, I'm not the greatest athlete. It might.
You're leading to get a good jump,
yeah.
And you think you're out.
I'm not blessed with speed, so I've got to get a good lead. Hammered down the right field line. It is a foul ball.
Nearly foul. Not much room down there to miss. Surely did.
The old Jeff Nelson ever get you?
No, but I had the wheel play one time at second base, which is where the pitcher comes up and then just spins and goes to second on a 3-2 count. I put my head down and just took off. I didn't even know he went to second. No. I got caught on that one time.
Big lightning bolt over the left field grandstand.
That's usually not a good sign, right?
No. Popped up. Cano will make the play, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. At the end of 6.5, it's the Yankees 6 and the Blue Jays nothing. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains.
No more. The skies have opened up. It is starting to rain. There's been rain around Yankee Stadium all day, and it was almost as if there was an invisible dome over the ballpark, but it has cracked the dome. It is raining right now. The tarp is going on the field. Right now, this is just a matter of logistics for everybody involved, the fans and the teams. Both of the teams are going to be leaving New York today, and now they're going to be leaving a little bit later than they wanted to leave. Yankees are going to the West Coast after this. They'll head to Oakland, and the Toronto Blue Jays are going to Boston. They have an off day tomorrow against the Red Sox. So all the records count. The game is official at 6-0. But now it's just a matter of hanging around, Paul.
Yeah, this is frustrating. You get this late in the game, and you just want to finish this thing off. I mean, you're up 6-0. Your starting pitcher is giving you a great start. And you just don't see any indication that the Blue Jays have it in them right now to fight back. And you want to get this game over, get packed up, and get out of town.
I've always been curious, Paul, so we have you right here. What goes on in the clubhouse during rain delays? I mean, do people talk? Do they eat? What goes on right now when they know it might be a significant rain delay?
Well, you'll get about 20 guys walking in. Well, the starting 9 especially will walk into Joe Girardi's office, and he's usually the first guy to get the weather report. Is this going to be a quick one? Is it going to be a couple hours? What? And if it's going to be a while, you'll see guys, undress, get some food in them, and just relax. The card games might start down there. Who knows? You might have a 3D movie or something to play in this locker room. But, if it's a short one, guys will just try to stay loose just to get back out there. But if it's a long one, you sit down, relax, get your shoes off, and just wait it out.
Do you worry about eating in case they say it's a long one and it might be? I mean, do you eat a lot? I mean, because there's so much food that's available to them.
Yeah. I was never a guy that, during these long breaks could sit down and eat a meal or something, because you're not used to doing it. Now, I remember in a night game, I would eat at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, wouldn't eat again until 11 after the game. Right. So, you eat your big meal before you get here. Wow. That was some lightning there. Does this work if we just draw a little umbrella around here? Let's see if that works. Huh?
I'm not thinking it's working.
No?
It looks like angel wings more than an umbrella.
Well, I was just giving it the first shot. Is that a little better?
That's much better.
Is it still raining on the field?
You know what? It's not working. Well, Nancy, you can tell that Paul's getting a little giddy right now. It's been a long couple of games for him. So we're going to recharge Paul and go back to the studio and Nancy Newman. Nance? game, and the Yankees beat the Blue Jays 6-0, so they sweep this 3-game set. A complete game for Hiroki Kuroda, as he will get the win. Remember, coming up, the WB Mason postgame show as Nancy Newman and Jack Curry will have highlights and analysis from this matchup and around baseball. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz gets the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it is only on Yes. All right, we had to have a Land Rover drive of the game, despite the fact that it's a shortened game. What is it, Paul?
Well, coming in the first inning, Mark Teixeira. It's a hold of 1/3 batter of the game. Already 3-0. That's his 19th of the year. Look at that. Sun was shining. Looked like a decent day. Michael turned different a little later.
It really did, but the Yankees will take it. They get their runs, and they get their wins as well, as the Yankees win this one 6-0. Let's take a look at the totals in this one. 6-12-1 for the Yankees, 0-4-0 for the Blue Jays. Time of the game, 2:12. It's just 6.5 innings. Kuroda, the complete game win. A complete game for Romero. He takes the loss. Kuroda went 7. Teixeira, 2 for 3, a 2-run home run. Dwayne Wise, one of the bench bombers, 2 for 3, a double and 2 ribbies. And Robinson Cano extended his hitting streak to 21 straight. Hey, coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Nancy Newman, Jack Curry, and Meredith Morakovitz. Special thanks to producer Frank DeGrace, director John Wilson, Troy Benjamin, Michael Cooney, Ed Delaney, Woody Fryman, and our executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Hey, join us again tomorrow for Yankees baseball as the Bombers travel west to take on the Oakland Athletics in Oakland, California. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. on the Yes Network. Again, the final score, the New York Yankees 6 and the Toronto Blue Jays 0. Now, let's go to Nancy Newman and Jack Curry standing by in our Yes Network studios.